you're here for another week of Church Online.
Exactly, and we're looking at contentment, learning to be okay with what you have.
That can be easy sometimes, hard other times. It's really important that we go to God when we're feeling that we're not just quite content. We can have a bad day or a good day and still feel content, which sounds really impossible.
It's quite possible with God. If we spend all our time looking at what other people have and comparing, we want more and more. It actually sets us up to do a bit of a spin, and that's not good.
Speaking of spin,
one
good spin is spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel, one of my favourite games.
Round?
Let's play another round. Let's do it. We're going to play spin the wheel. We have the wheel behind us. We're going to spin it, and where it stops will be the number that is chosen. We have 3 contestants. We're spinning on their behalf. If they, for example, get number 7, they will get the water balloon. We have a specially built ramp, and they're going to roll it from the top against each other and see who gets to the finishing line first across the tape. Okay? Now we've got a pea, we've got a chocolate peanut, a piece of pasta, a round stone, a jelly bean. I'm not going to eat it just yet. Mandarin, water bomb, pair of socks, still dirty, not washed from jump, and a bit of Play-Doh. That's great.
What do you think is going to be the winner? All these things here.
I think the chocolate peanut, if I don't eat it, it's going to win.
Chocolate peanut. I am going for the jump socks myself.
Oh, yep.
So our first contestant is Lockie. Welcome, Lockie.
Good luck, Lockie.
Okay, you know how to play, Lockie?
Yes.
Great. Let's spin the wheel. And Lockie is going to get object number 5.
Lockie has got a jelly bean. So, Lockie, you're in lane 1 with the jelly bean.
Lane 1. Our second contestant is Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you doing? Hi. Right, Alyssa, you know how to play? Great. Let's spin the wheel.
Come on, Alyssa.
Okay, Alyssa is going to get number 8.
The smelly socks, but it's nice and round. You're in lane 2, Alyssa.
Woohoo!
And for our third contestant, welcome Molly.
Hello.
It's great you're here, Molly. Okay, we will move ahead. Here we go, spinning the wheel for Molly. And we've got number 1.
P.
Molly, you've got the P.
Woo!
So in lane 1, we have Lockie with the jelly bean. In lane 2, we have Alyssa with the sock. And lane 3, Molly with the P.
Okay.
Right.
Hang on, move the other contestants out of the way. Here we go. Don't need too much. Well,
Okay.
here we go.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh,
for a
close.
minute there, I thought the P was actually going to win.
No, it was definitely the smelly socks first.
Okay, let's look at the action replay to make sure. And it was the smelly socks.
Yeah, congratulations to the smelly sock lady.
And Melissa, you are the winner of our Roll It Relay. Congratulations. And no, you don't win my smelly socks.
Okay guys, let's just roll into some time of worship.
Gotta know you're everything I need. You are the reason why my heart is beating. God, you're always taking care of me. I wanna follow where you are leading. Ooh, I generous and good forever. Help me share the love you're showing me. I want everyone to know you better. Ooh, I don't wanna miss out on the good right now. Ooh, and everything I see, you're good, so good to me. I have decided I will depend on you no matter what. That's what I choose. I have decided I will depend on you no matter what. That's what I choose. That's what I choose. I am content in you. That's what I choose. I am content in you.
Oh, hey everyone! Oh, I'm Erica. I hope you don't mind I get into shape while we do this. Exercise is important, you know, or of course. I mean, I'd rather be riding my bike outside right now, but the weather isn't cooperating. But that's okay, because I can ride this bike inside! Ooh, see that? I'm showing contentment. Contentment is learning to be okay with what you have. So, I'm okay with this stationary bike. You know, they've made all kinds of advancements with stationary bikes. I want one of those bikes that has all those different settings where you can make it feel like you're going like uphill or downhill. Whee! No, you know what I really want? I want one that has a TV screen in the front so it looks like you're riding a bike through mountains or next to the ocean. Maybe I can use my laptop. Paris, France. C'est magnifique. Ooh, I want a bike that comes with a built-in trainer. Someone to like pump me up while I ride. Come on, Erica. You can do it. That bike won't pedal itself. Yeah, move. I can do it. Move. Yeah, let me some more. Too bad all I got is this old thing. All it does is pedal. In today's story, we'll hear about a king who always wanted more and more and more. I kind of feel like him right now. It's not fun. What are you slowing down for? You've got to keep moving if you're going to make it all the way to Paris. You want to see the Eiffel Tower, don't you? Oui. I can hear you. Move. I will. Move. See you in Paris. Move.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21.
After David and Solomon, many kings ruled the lands of Judah and Israel. Some of them listened to God, but most did not. King Ahab was worse than any other king of Israel before him. He only thought of himself and did exactly as he wanted to do.
Do exactly as I want.
Yes, Your Highness. What do you want?
4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and 1... Oh, it escapes me. Just bring me some pears flambé.
No one ever said no to King Ahab, not even his wife, Queen Jezebel.
Am I the most fabulous king to ever rule this land?
Yes, of course, because you have me.
King Ahab was certain he had everything he could ever want. That is, until he took a drive into the neighboring town of Jezreel.
Ooh, just look at that lovely vineyard. It is perfection. Stop at once.
King Ahab examined the green leafy vines and the heavy bunches of grapes.
What fantastic fruit. The soil must be excellent. You, over there.
Who? Me?
Who, me, your majesty?
Who, me, your majesty?
Of course, you. Do you own this fine vineyard?
I do, your majesty.
Excellent. You must sell it to me at once, and I shall turn it into a vegetable garden.
No,
Excuse me?
your majesty.
I'll pay good money. I'll trade you a better vineyard.
I said no, your majesty. May the Lord keep me from giving you the land my family handed down to me.
You... what? No.
King Ahab was enraged. When he returned to the palace, he threw himself down on his bed and refused to eat anything, even date cakes dipped in honey.
Why are you in such a bad mood? Why won't you eat anything?
Neighbor won't give me his vineyard.
Oh, snap out of it. You're the king. I'll get you that vineyard.
Queen Jezebel was just as bad as her husband, or maybe worse. She wrote a letter to the leaders of Naboth's town.
Here is your mission, which you must accept. Number 1, announce a special day and give Naboth an important seat. 2, have 2 bad guys sit across from Naboth and claim that he cursed God and the king. 3, drag Naboth out of the city and throw stones at him until he dies. That should clear.
Queen Jezebel sent her message, and the leaders of Naboth's town followed it, to the letter.
Tell the queen, mission accomplished.
Queen Jezebel was delighted by this terrible news and immediately went to find King Ahab.
Oh, woe is me. Naboth won't give me...
Get up! Take over Naboth's vineyard. He's dead.
What? Mine! All mine!
King Ahab ordered his chariot and set off at once for Jezreel.
We'll rip out these annoying vines, plant peas, parsnips, potatoes.
But even as Ahab garden partied, God spoke to the prophet Elijah.
Go down to see Ahab. You will find him in Naboth's vineyard. Ahab has gone there to take it over.
God gave Elijah a special message for the king. Elijah had faced Ahab before and knew the king would not be pleased to see him.
Okay, here goes.
Elijah traveled to Jezreel and found Ahab in the vineyard.
Pull out that row of vines. Dig up the soil.
King Ahab.
The king turned. His eyes narrowed as he spied Elijah.
My enemy, you found me.
The Lord says, haven't you murdered a man? Haven't you taken his property?
No, not me personally. And now he doesn't need it anymore. So
You've done what is evil in the sight of the Lord. The Lord says, I am going to bring horrible trouble on you. You have caused Israel to sin.
Oh.
For once, Ahab listened to a message from God. He tore his clothes, a sign of great sorrow for what he had done. He put on the clothing people wore to show sadness.
No food.
Not even date cakes dipped in honey?
Not even date cakes dipped in honey.
King Ahab and Jezebel had made themselves miserable, taking more and more. And in the end, both of them paid for it.
Yeesh! King Ahab really wanted Naboth's vineyard. It's okay to want things, but Ahab wanted it so badly that it made him miserable. He even refused to eat. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever wanted something so badly that it was all you could think about? Maybe it made you like super sad when you couldn't get it. Or maybe you threw a tantrum. If that sounds like something you might do, you may need a little help with contentment. Wanting things is fine. It gives you something to work toward or to look forward to. But when you want more and more and more and more, it can make you feel like Ahab. Miserable. Jesus once said, watch out! Be on guard against wanting to have more and more things. Life is not made up of how much a person has. Jesus knew there is so much more to life than the stuff we have. There are memories to be made, adventures to be experienced. Ooh, there are relationships to be grown with God and with others. These are things that will last long after the stuff we wanted has broken or gone out of style. So it's okay to want things, but here's the one thing to remember. Wanting more and more can make you miserable. So maybe one day I'll get a stationary bike with a few bells and whistles, but in the meantime, I'll ride this one and imagine it's springtime in Paris. Move, move, move! My imagination is very vivid. Au revoir!
Well, that was some story, and it was sort of sad too, don't you think? He wanted more and more, and it just made him miserable. And that's what we're talking about today, that sometimes you can feel miserable when you want more and more, instead of recognizing that the reason you do feel miserable is because you want more and more. With Christmas rolling around, it's easy to get into that cycle where you want more, and that you're not okay with what you have. One way to help with that is to think about what you can give to other people. Last week we made the tabletop basketball game, and a lot of people have had fun with that. This week we're going to show you something you can make for those people who love chocolate. Contentment is learning to be okay with what you've got, and we're learning today that wanting more and more can make you miserable.
Yeah, I know. And in that story, didn't that just tell you, King Ahab and his wife Jezebel, they just always wanted more and more. And in that story, it just showed, they become miserable in the end. That's not the way. That's not the answer.
They did some really yucky stuff to get what they want, and we might not go out and do that sort of thing, but sometimes we're not so kind when we want more and more.
Yeah, we've got to learn to be content in our relationship with God. That's the key. So as we grow that relationship, we learn to have more peace and more contentment. And that shows in the way we live and handle other people.
Yeah, that's the truth. And another part of that is learning to trust God no matter what. No matter what happens, you can be content knowing that God's got it. He's got everything under control.
Yep.
He knows you, He loves you, He cares for you, and He wants the best for your life.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk it over with your family?
Yes.
How can you choose to be more content? See ya!
See you next week.
TV screens and magazines always try to sell me things, from bicycles to shiny rings. And they say, hey, check out this brand new fan. It's something that you gotta have. They kinda make me wanna laugh. Cause contentment isn't found in possessions. I think they've got the wrong impression. I try to focus my attention on the fact that I'm blessed and everything I've got is all I need. I'm taking steps back to see things differently. Everything I've got is all I need, need is all I need. Hey, I must admit that sometimes I want what my friends have. It's easy to do that. I try to keep myself from losing sight of got the wrong impression. I try to focus my attention on the fact that I'm blessed and everything I've got is all I need. I'm taking steps back to see things differently. Everything I've got is all I need. It's all I need. Everything I've got is all I need. I'm taking steps back to see things differently. Everything I've got is all I need. It's all I need.
Video games and nice clothes. It's easy to let your mind go. Down the wrong path, wanting what other people have, always wanting more things when old things get boring. But life isn't measured by the things you own or the things you don't. I'ma be good with what I got. I promise you that I am not. One was his, one was hers. Yo, I'm blessed and that's for sure. Fancy things are cool, I guess, but you don't watch out, you just might miss that there's more to life than the eye can see. Look inside, you got all you need.
Everything I've got is all I need. I'm taking steps back.